stage, it's not about winning. It's not about being the one that everyone is looking at, because that's easy. You can drop your pants and take a dump on the stage, and then everyone will look at you. Forgive me. Forgive my analogy. The magic of the theater is always what happens between two people. It's not him or me. It's here in the midst of us all.
I'm glad you brought up ensemble, because again, it's supposed to be a healthy marriage. Of course, that advice could have probably worked 6 years ago with my ex if you were there. But then again, 100% of divorces are caused by marriage. So there you go. Nice.
And as Samuel Beckett said, fail better, fail better, fail better. So you
right.
fail, you know better.
Or as Kareem used to say, it's cheaper to keep her.
I missed that one. Darn.
And I'll tell you a funny story quickly.
Sure.
When I got that part, I asked Joss Whedon, so what's the arc of the character, the master in Buffy the Vampire Slayer? And he said, it's really great because in the last episode, you kill Buffy. And I said, oh, wow, that's nice. Does that mean that if it gets picked up for a second season, it'll be called Master the Buffy Slayer? And he laughed a lot like that.
And a lot of people talk about your era. It's almost like the day of the quarterback in the 80s. You know, back then, to be a QB, you had to get hit and tackled because those rules were not to your favor. And God knows that there were a lot of players on the defensive end who got away with a ton. I'll tell you who brags about that in this tournament. We got Rick Mahorn in this tournament, and he always brags about getting away with a lot. We do have Byron Scott as well in this tournament, another Laker legend. He's in this tournament too as well. But Mr. Cooper, man, I got to tell you, as Ray, as you know, Larry Bird has went on record millions of times saying anytime we played the Lakers, everybody thought Larry versus Magic was what was on my mind. It was Cooper. He was on my mind.
Yeah.
Every time I knew we had the Lakers, whether it was in the Great Western Forum or the Boston Garden, where Red Auerbach turned out the heat in the summer every time. In the locker room, he said,
were cheaters, Avi. They cheated back then.
Right. That's right. He said, I wanted no part of Cooper, but I got every bit of him. So that's what Larry Bird said about Michael.
That's awesome.
Good stuff there. I'll say this. Eddie Johnson, I just did the Sean Marion roast for Eddie Johnson's event in Arizona, the Sean Marion roast. Eddie's in round number 2, and he asked me to ask Michael, what would Michael think if Michael ended up facing an Eddie Johnson in round 3 of this tournament?
I kick his ass like I did when he played in the game, man. I go get him. Mark, you know the way we used to go to the Phoenix Suns. I go get him.
I love that.
Oh, that's awesome.